Hello and welcome back. I'm Teresa Garcia, or Amehana Arashi, and this is Flash Fiction Fridays. Today's flash fiction was sent in by Maxaxle. This was not provided with a title. Heavy drops of light slicked off the glossy black object as it slid down the endless expanse of black and gray. It dripped soundlessly, regularly through the night and into the dawn. A hero cut through traffic in much the way that a hero does if they're on a mission. Their bike split lanes at over 100 miles an hour, slicing through traffic with hard lines and thick fairings, its harsh rattle a counterpoint to the smooth tones of the black object. The black object commanded fear as it left a wake in the traffic flow. From left to right it churned, and from left to right the hero followed. Traffic flow became a traffic rapid, and the hero paddled feverishly with their handlebars. Eventually the hero succumbed to the traffic flow, and the black object disappeared beneath the waves. Hours later, in a peaceful place, the peace was disturbed. 1,000 tiny objects sprang from one black object, and a pipe cleared the way for a leaping, hungering body that imposed itself upon a body at the wheel. A hero, doing what they did best, going after villains. And that was this week's contribution by Maxaxle from ASA. Next up is a short review of a USB for the iPad that I picked up. We'll get to that in just a moment. For this segment, I'm going to be reviewing an iPhone USB that I recently picked up from Amazon. I will include a link to it in the description down below. I was very excited when the iPod flash drive that I had been waiting for arrived. I liked how it came with an adapter for USB to mini USB, which I thought was going to be great for going between the iPad, the Android tablet, the phone, and the laptop. As an illustrator and an avid book reader, I can definitely appreciate being able to move files between my tools. In reading the mini manual, it even talked about being able to go between the iPad and Android. It does, however, need an app, which, when you plug in to your phone, it will automatically download. On the iPad, my first test was with my iPad. I normally try to leave it in the case because it's got a cracked screen that I just haven't been able to get repaired yet. So I was a little bit disappointed that the connector was too short to just keep the case on, although I had been expecting exactly that anyway. I'm hoping that enough people are going to be wanting to be able to use it with their cases on that either eventually there's going to be a slightly longer adapter to do that, or the design will be reworked a tiny bit to allow for it. It would really only need a little bit of adaptation for the neck to be longer to both get all the way in to sit flush with the iPad once the case is on. It would only need maybe an 1/8 of an inch more. But I'm not the designer, so. When plugging it in, I did have the automatic pop-up about needing the app, which, helped me with finding it because there's so much stuff on the iStore. With my extremely slow throttled rural satellite internet connection, it took a bit to download the app to the iPad, which is actually probably something that I should be kind of glad about because not everybody has decent internet yet here in America, especially if you live rural. So, that can be a real concern. But it downloaded, fairly quickly overall. I haven't had to update it yet, so that's also good. The app does have some typos in it. It is from China. The glaring one that got my attention was the contact restro, R-E-S-T-R-O-E. That really should be contact restore, but I can't fault them for that too much, considering that it is from China and they probably don't have anybody to do the proofreading that really should be done, especially when you're doing in other languages. So, I mean, those do happen. I was able to copy a picture over. That went fairly easily. I wasn't able to figure out how to move any music files or documents or books from the iPad onto the flash drive. But I was at least able to move pictures. So I have to poke more at that later on. It will allow me to feel more comfortable about using the iPad for working on manuscripts, because there'll be room for it once I remember where I put my wireless keyboard for safekeeping, because I'm very good about forgetting where I tuck that little thing. On the Windows laptop, I did not need an app to access the flash drive. It was just a nice plug and play. I was able to move folders easily. I was able to move files easily, make new folders. That was just all normal as you would expect it to be. So I was able to move, music and books and things to test with fairly easily on that. On the Samsung Android phone, the enclosed adapter that they sent does not fit my phone. I'm not certain what mini USB size that is. It is the one that I don't have. It would fit my mother's. I'm pretty sure it would fit my mother's. If not my mother's, somebody else's in the family, because I know somebody in the family has this particular size mini USB. It's just not my phone that has it. So I wasn't able to test that out, and I'm uncertain where I put my little adapter that does fit my phone. I saw it recently, but, danged if I can remember where I tucked that, because it's so tiny. So I wasn't able to test that out. On my 10 Viking Pro 3 Android tablet, the adapter didn't fit that either. But I was able to tap in with the USB connector end. It drained the battery juice a bit fast, I thought. I had not realized I'd let my tablet get down so low. It was at 20% when I plugged in. By the time I had the cable in my hand and was just getting ready to plug in to power to start charging that up and to give myself a little bit more time, I was suddenly at 2%. So it was like the space of a breath from 20 to 2. I was really fast. So, and then it went off. So keep your device well charged. Don't do like I did and forget. It was plug and play, it seemed like, when I got it powered back up. Accessing the files seemed pretty simple. Haven't figured out how to move stuff around on the Android yet, though. So I'm uncertain on that. Overall, though, I'm pretty impressed. And it is going to help a lot, because it's like 128 gig. It's a nice, decent-sized flash drive. It will help a lot. I mean, a lot. So it should help me a lot in, the digital art when I get back into doing digital art. Because I'm having to do, more by choice. Been specializing in the traditional art with inks and color pencils, but there are some projects that do require a little bit more digital stuff, so I'm going to be working more on that. And now that I have a little bit more storage that's more easily accessible, hopefully that will help a little bit. on the tablets. It should serve with my narration work some, I expect. I don't have that plugged into the iPad right now, so I can't test what the difference in noise profile is. But I think that's it for this. And that was today's podcast. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope the rustles weren't too bad. I'm wearing the wrong shirt for recording today. If you enjoyed this podcast and would like to help out, please do visit me at www.flashfiction.fridays.com to see the rest of the podcast episodes, or visit me at www.patreon.com/Amehana, and you can find out how to support this and many other endeavors. Until next time, happy reading.